Hello, everyone. This is Arlette Shohmelian. I'm the founding director at Parentry. I'm a positive mindset coach as well as a parent coach. I empower my clients to find emotional balance and inner resilience by reprogramming their minds to develop a positive mindset in their personal and or professional life from a place of ease and alignment to life's challenges. So I wanted to talk to you about self-care. So what do you do when you feel emotionally and physically exhausted, like you cannot give anymore? So when you feel emotionally and physically exhausted, it means that something is off in your mind and something is off in your body. It means that you can no longer give. It means that you have exhausted yourself. It means that you are burnt out. It means that enough is enough and your system cannot take it anymore. And if you continue like this, then there will be other consequences that you have to deal with, both emotionally or physically. So when you feel emotionally and physically exhausted, it means that you have to stop doing whatever that you're doing because you're on autopilot. You might not even realize it. You wake up, you go to work, or if you don't go to work, if you're at home, whatever you're doing, you're on autopilot and you're going and you're living your life day in, day out with the same way and getting the same outcome in your life. So as if you're expecting somebody to give you permission to stop and to pause and to evaluate what's happening inside your world, inside your emotional world, because your emotional world is what is determining and is causing your behavior. But many people say they reach to that level that they don't know how to pick up themselves because they lose joy in everything that they're doing, and their patience and everything else that they're doing, their concentration level and their memory becomes affected. You need to step one step backwards and start evaluating certain things, such as your sleep. Because when you are deprived of sleep, maybe you're a new mom, maybe you've developed, or you're a person that you've developed bad habits, you're in front of the TV, you go to bed at 1 or 2 o'clock and you wake up at 6 o'clock, maybe you are unable to go to bed directly, because of your mind is preoccupied, so on and so forth. So you need to understand that you must have developed certain bad habits, and you need to start thinking about sleeping more, maybe reducing your time. Instead of sleeping at 1 o'clock, you start with 12:30 for a couple of days, and then you bring it down to 12, and then you bring it down a little bit further, because you will be unable to reprogram your biological clock from 1 o'clock to suddenly 11 o'clock. But you need to get a decent amount of sleep in order for your mind to function properly, because when we are deprived from good night's sleep, our memory is affected, and when our memory is affected, it affects our productivity level, it affects our performance, and it affects everything. So, and also your patience, and also when you sleep less, you have more appetite during the day because you need the energy to function. So your body is through a wrong vibration and it's imbalance, which causes a lot of other things. When you are exhausted because of the way you're working, because maybe you're not working, you think that you have to work very hard to achieve the results that you are achieving. Maybe you don't listen to yourself when you are tired, and you keep on pushing yourself to work more and to work more. I know what you're thinking. Some of you might be thinking, yes, but I come home, I have to clean the house, I have to take care of the kids, or if you don't have kids, you bring home work, etc. These are all bad habits. The reason that we are into bad habits is because of our conditioning. Take again a step backwards and see how best you can manage your time during the day. Because if you are in that thinking of I have to do this and I have to do that, it means that you are on autopilot. You're thinking and reacting without even thinking. So your behavior is exactly the same day in, day out, today, tomorrow, and your results, your behavior, the outcome that you're going to get will be exactly the same 6 months from now or 1 year from now. So there are always solutions. It all depends where we focus. If your focus is on solution, if your focus is on, okay, I'm going to try to find a solution how to best manage my time, then you start putting things in order in your head. You can say, because when we are not putting things in order in our head, everything is like a big chaos in our mind. And that's why we start feeling overwhelmed, because we have so many things to do. Our body is feeling it. We feel the tension, but yet we continue acting and behaving exactly the same way. So it's important to think and to put things in order in terms of time management, and to give command to your mind, because your mind needs a command. You put things into a box. You say, this thing, I'm going to do it tomorrow, and you don't open it again until tomorrow. This thing can wait. You can work with a priority. I have to do this and that. But sometimes you need to leave the dirty dishes in the sink, or you need to say that I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this piece of work. It's 10 o'clock in the evening. I don't want to work right now, and I'll do it tomorrow. Sometimes you need to listen to your body, and you need to put yourself a priority, more priority than what's happening around you. Because if you ignore yourself, and if you ignore listening to yourself or caring for yourself, everything else starts crumbling down. So it's important to analyze the situation at a given moment, and to decide what's best for you. If you're emotionally exhausted, it means that you feel drained. It means that your cup is full, or it means that nobody can give from a full cup. Nobody can give from a full cup. And if you're emotionally exhausted, it means that you need to start thinking why you're feeling emotionally drained. It means that you are overthinking things. It means that all your thoughts are emotionalized, and it's creating all that emotions in you. That's why you are overthinking. Maybe the emotions that are activated because of your thoughts are fear, or doubt, or concern, or worry, which causes so many other things. So if you are emotionally exhausted, it means that maybe you need to do something about it. And there are so many things you can do. You can write, you can do journaling, write the things that is bothering you, and decide what you are going to do. So have your mind more on solution rather than problem, because your mind is going to keep you with your problems until you give a command to your mind to find solutions. So you can say write down what are your problems, and then see and give alternative solutions for each point or each difficulty that you are experiencing. But it's also important to understand that when you feel like you've lost joy and you're exhausted, and you're not in the mood to do anything, you are not in the mood to go to the gym, or to meet up with friends, or whatever, or care for yourself, you need to do what is best, the next best step for you to feel better, because you cannot jump suddenly from A to the other pole, from one pole to the other pole. You cannot make a big jump. But what you can do is you can take a baby step, small step that is going to help you. And you can ask yourself, what is the next step that I can do that is going to make me feel better? Maybe the next step will be a bubble bath. Maybe the next step will be to go for a walk for 15 minutes. Maybe the next step will be reading a book. Maybe the next step will be meeting up with friends. Maybe the next step will be to go to bed early. Maybe the next step will be, I don't know what resonates with you. Every person is different, and what makes me feel good is different than what makes you feel good. So it's important, though, you move yourself towards feeling better, because when we move ourselves towards feeling better, that's where things start shifting. And when you get stuck or trapped into that feeling of I have a lot of to do, you know, the victim mode, because we also sometimes spend a lot of time on the victim mode. When you spend a lot of time that, you know, this is what's happening, I have a lot of things to do, I don't have help, I don't, you, that's what you're saying to yourself, you're stuck in your problems. Then that's where you're going to get more today, tomorrow, and 6 months or 1 year from now. So it's important that you take responsibility of whatever that you are experiencing emotionally or physically. You take responsibility by just saying one thing: what is the next step that is going to help me feel good? That's it from me today. And if any of these things that we're talking resonates with you and you would like to discuss more, book your call, and you can we can have more discussions around this. Thank you very much. Bye bye.